Hello, friends, and welcome back to Alien Protocols. I was thinking about how these advanced civilizations must think of us. And I think in order to have any realistic understanding of that, I think you can look at how we look at other civilizations. And, just as ubiquitous as our physics are throughout the universe, I think emotions are the same throughout the universe, and that many other species of living creatures have these same types of emotions and thoughts and concerns, even because I think they're based on evolutionary requirements and needs. So it's not fanciful or unrealistic to presume that they may have many of those same thoughts and concerns and even emotions as we do. I think many humans are very human-centric. We think only humans have emotions, when it's obvious animals do too, and for the same reasons that we have ours. And I was thinking, in order to understand this advanced civilization that's visiting us, their motivations, we could look at aspects of ourselves and see if that explains their behavior. For example, there are many uncontacted tribes around the world, and these tribes are in the rainforest, on remote islands. There's over 100 different tribes apparently in the rainforests around the world, but also on islands around India particularly, there are several different groups, and I think there is some lessons to learn from what's going on with these different groups. There's one very peaceful group called the Jawara. They live on the Andaman Islands, and half of the island is populated by them, and the southern part of the island is populated by more modern Indian people. And they basically were uncontacted until 30 years ago. And they're now just starting to wear clothing, and they're wanting to have roofs, and many of them are approaching the social workers kind of from the Indian government and saying that they want to transition out of the forest and into the cities. And this presents a really big ethical quandary for the more advanced civilization, because there's great danger to the less advanced civilization. Diseases have wiped out so many different indigenous civilizations around the planet. If you look at history, there's so many cases of a more modern civilization destroying the uncontacted tribe or group for so many different reasons. But this is really a warning tale with the Jawara people. Their culture, there's only, they say less than 400 of them, and that there's great ethical difficulties. They travel into the cities, and the Indian police and the different cultural groups within the Indian government take the people, these Jawara people, and bring them back into the rainforest, and they'll walk 70 kilometers to come back. And they're really a beautiful people, and they survived the way they had with bows and arrows since, the Stone Age, essentially. And it's interesting how we choose to treat them. There's another group not too far away on a different island called the Sinhalese, and they live on this very remote island. You can see here in the middle of the Indian Sea here, and Indian Ocean in the bay here. And this island is uncontacted. When anyone lands there, the tribe is very hostile. They attack and kill people. In fact, just 2 days ago, an American citizen was killed trying to be a missionary on the island. And you're not supposed to go to the island. He went illegally, and apparently they were seen dragging his body across the beach and burying it and all this stuff. But that's how this tribe has maintained itself since the Stone Age, is being very hostile to any outsiders. And you have to think about how another civilization would think of us. Do they want to treat us more like the Sinhalese, where we are completely standoffish and it's against the law to contact a tribe, and you're not supposed to because they have their own evolutionary rate that they're supposed to follow? Or should we treat them like the Jawara, where many people are fighting to integrate them into modern society, and they want to integrate into modern society? I think we'll have the same problems with humanity. Some will want to step into the future, and some will want to preserve our natural order. But what is a natural order, really? Let's be frank. Societies and cultures blend and meet and grow, and I think it should be based more on their desire and on their general technological level. And I think that's why we're having sightings and visitations, because we're just on that threshold of, okay, it's acceptable for the more advanced civilization to interact with us a little bit, because we want to, and we're technologically approaching that the beginnings of that type of a civilization ourselves. So it's a lot to think about. If you were more an advanced civilization, how would you treat us? Would you treat us like the Sinhalese or the Jawara? Interesting question. A lot of ethical concerns and thoughts. Much love.